For more on how everyone is preparing for this massive storm, let's bring in South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, good morning, and thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
What preparations are being made in your state at this point?
Well, I talked to the governor yesterday. We've got, we're evacuating 8 coastal counties, reversing the flow of traffic so people can get off the coast back into the interior of the state, moving people off the coast and moving assets down to take care of people. Hope this is a glancing blow. We'll know in a couple of days. I hope it's not a direct hit. It's a major storm. Hopefully it'll stay out in the ocean and not come on the shore.
Well, it's been downgraded to a Category 4 storm, but it is expected, according to the current path, to take a turn.
Not much of a downgrade, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Still a huge storm. And it is expected to turn toward the Carolina coast, Georgia affected as well. How big of a threat is this to the people of your state, Senator?
Well, it just depends on what happens. Wind and water for sure. If it's a direct hit, it could be really bad, but hopefully it will be a glancing blow. We're ready with some mandatory evacuation situation in South Carolina for the coastal counties, and the governor's on top of it. Unfortunately, we're pretty prepared for these things because they come very often, and the governor and his team and the emergency response team, the National Guard, they're all ready. And the federal delegation, our role is to help them after the fact, get some money in to repair the damage, and we work pretty well together.
Meanwhile, we'll be watching that and the coordinated effort to make sure everyone stays safe there. To this letter that you have now penned to Attorney General William Barr, I've got it in my hands here, Senator, and it specifically addressed the Inspector General's investigation into FISA abuse. What are you asking the Attorney General for in this letter?
As much declassification as possible. I want the public to see the process in real time. I want the FISA warrant applications to be revealed to the public as much as possible. What do we know from the Horowitz reports regarding Comey? He basically was accused of manipulating the system, ignoring rules and procedures that are in place regarding memos owned by the government to get an outcome. Comey wanted a special counsel appointed. He manipulated the system to get the outcome. The question for me is, did they manipulate the warrant system to get a warrant against Carter Page? Did they manipulate the counterintelligence investigation against Papadopoulos? Did they manipulate the outcome of the Clinton investigation because they wanted her to win and Trump to lose? So I'm looking for a pattern of manipulation and bias. And the question, does that pattern rise to the level of criminality? We'll soon hear from the Inspector General about the warrant application.
Andy Biggs, member of House Judiciary, is warning that this next report could be even more devastating, suggesting indictments could be coming. Here was Andy Biggs over the weekend.
We anticipate that's going to come probably mid-September, and I anticipate that we're going to see some very stark revelations of manipulation of the whole system for political purposes. I think you're going to actually see some indictments. I hope you do, because this is trying to take down a sitting president.
Do you see more indictments coming, Senator?
Possibly. So what did we learn from the first report about Comey? That he did not care about the rules in place. He wanted an outcome to make sure that there'd be a special counsel appointed. He leaked information inappropriately, even though it wasn't classified. The question for me is, did they manipulate the FISA court to get a warrant illegally against Carter Page? They spent almost no time verifying the dossier that was used to get the warrant. The dossier is unverified to this day. So what I'm looking for is accountability and responsibility. What should the price be for somebody who lies to the FISA court to get a warrant against an American citizen? We need to hold those accountable who watch us when it comes to getting warrants against anybody, regardless of the political party in question. So I'm looking at a pattern here. Did they manipulate the FISA court? Did they manipulate the counterintelligence rules against Papadopoulos? Did they let Clinton go because they had a political bias? Time will tell.
James Comey, it was suggested by Andy Biggs in that same interview, doesn't understand quite the extent of what he did or whether it was wrong even. He said he's dodging and weaving. Do you agree with that?
Well, Horowitz is a pretty neutral guy here. He was appointed by Obama, and he slammed Comey because Comey ignored all the rules and procedures in place to get an outcome he desired. He wanted President Trump to be investigated by a special counsel. He took the rules and procedures in his own hands to get an outcome. The rules be damned. The question is, did he do the same thing to the FISA court? Did they take the law in their own hands? Did they give to the court a document that was unverified? Did they swear under oath falsely that this was an accurate document justifying a warrant? I'm dying to hear about that, because the rules and procedures regarding the leaked information is damning, but the manipulating of a court process is illegal. Let's just put it this way. If they manipulated the FISA court system and nobody gets prosecuted, what would deter people in the future from doing the same thing? My goal is to make sure people never do this again, declassify as much as possible so the public can see what Horowitz was looking at. And this is not revenge, this is just accountability.
I've got to leave it there, but have you gotten a response to this letter yet?
Not yet, but I'm very hopeful that we're going to let the whole story be told. Accountability and transparency is my goal, and I am sure criminality is going to be looked at very hard by Mr. Durham and others.
Senator Lindsey Graham, great to have you on the program this morning. Hope you come back soon. Our best to the people of your state as they await Dorian. Yeah, thank you.